How can we detect and destroy the lies and deceptions that seek to confound and manipulate us? This is the life lesson we'll learn from the 17th star of Vedic Astrology, Mūla, destroyer of lies. In this series, Life Lessons of the Vedic Nakshatra, we'll discover how life really works by exploring the 27 constellations through the mystical Sanskrit words of the Vedic Nakshatra Sutra. Welcome back to our continuing series on the life lessons that we learn from the Vedic Nakshatras. Actually, what we're doing is we're taking the wisdom of the Vedas as it's coming through the Taittiriya Brahmana in their description of the 27 nakshatras. We're analyzing those sutras that describe each one of the 27 nakshatras and extracting really, really useful and amazing lessons about life from them. So I'm doing all this in preparation for the book that I'm going to release, translating and explaining that Nakshatra Sutra from the Taittiriya Brahmana. And as always, we start off by listening to the Sanskrit of the actual sutra itself, and then we're going to look at the words in the sutra, and then we're going to talk about the lesson that it teaches us. So here is the Sanskrit for the sutra that describes the symbolic nature of Mūla, the destroyer of lies.
Nrityai Mūla Pratibhanjantah Parastat Pratishvinanto Vastat.
So this one says Nrityai Mūla Varhani Pratibhanjantah Parastat Pratishvinanto Vastat. Destroying the roots of untruth needs mutual crushing for mutual annihilations. That's the sutra in English. Now let's look at the individual words involved in it, right? The first word is Nrityai. That means for Nriti. Nriti is the goddess of the nakshatra, but what does Nriti mean? Rita means truth. Truth means something which is real and something which has to be abided by because it's real. It won't just go away. That's what Riti means. Niriti means without that, without the truth, without reality, without law or morality. So the nakshatra is focused on things that are not true. It's trying to discover things that are not true. And the name of the nakshatra itself is Mūla. Mūla means the origin or the foundation. And that's why the word is used to refer to the bottoms of things, because things tend to grow from the bottom up. And that's why the word is especially used to refer to roots of a tree. That root of a tree is the foundation of the tree. It's the origin of the tree. It's the bottom of the tree, right? So Mūla really means the foundation, the origin. So this nakshatra is really, really occupied with trying to find the origin, the root, the foundation, getting to the bottom of things, getting to the roots. And this sutra has one extra word more than most, Varhani. Varhana means to slash or rip or pull up or uproot, destroy. So if you take the whole thing together, Nrityai Mūla means the origin of untruth, the origin of lies. Varhani, the destroyer of the roots of untruth. That's what this nakshatra is all about. It's trying to expose and destroy the roots of lies and untruth. Then, as all the nakshatras in the sutra, they have one thing which they need, which is called the prastat, and one thing which they want to produce, which is called the avastat. So in this sutra, the thing that Mūla needs is bhanjana. Bhanjana means to crush, to hit something, to strike something, to break something. So Mūla wants to break something. What does it want to break? It wants to break those roots. It wants to cut those roots, wants to crack them. The roots of untruth. It's not just bhanja, but it's pratibhanja. So prati has the idea of coming back and forth or coming back against something. So pratibhanja means things hitting each other. And the word is plural, pratibhanjantah. So it means there's all these roots of lies. Mūla wants them to interfere with each other, strike each other, crush each other, hit each other. That's what it needs. That's what it wants. It wants to make the lies fight with each other. Why? What does it want to produce? Pratishrinanta. Pratishrinanta is based on the word shrina, which means to destroy. So it's very similar to crushing or hitting, but now you've actually got a destruction. And prati, same prefix, prati, so things are destroying each other, and it's plural as well. So there's a lot of destructions of destroying each other. So what does Mūla want to do? Mūla wants to expose the roots of all the lies in the world so that they contradict each other. It wants to show how the lies contradict each other. And by showing how they contradict each other, the lies will destroy each other. And by destroying the lies, you're left with truth. Now, as for using Mūla in interpretive charts or for electional astrology, Mūla is really good nakshatra for anything that has to do with getting below the surface, cutting through lies, getting deeper than superficialities, exposing the real truth. So this nakshatra is really going to support truth seekers. That might mean like detectives, researchers, scientists, spiritualists who are of that type that really are investigating. Okay, so because the nakshatra is like this, because it's digging in to expose the secrets that have been buried and hidden, then the planets that can really dig in, like Mars, for example, because Mars is so sharp, Ketu because Ketu goes down and digs, and Saturn because Saturn is so critical and exposes lies. These three planets in Mūla tend to mean that it's going to work well, and it's going to produce somebody who's really a truth seeker and really gets to the bottom of things and doesn't get deceived by lies, exposes lies. On the other hand, this nakshatra is not welcome where you actually want to have compliance and like a forgiving nature towards a lie. So if you want to have compliance, conformity, then Mūla is not going to make your life easy. And there's actually a lot of situations where you need compliance and conformity. Social life is basically one big gigantic pile of compliance and conformity. Family life is mainly a compliance and conformity. So Mūla doesn't really operate well in the realm of social life, parties, friendships, marriages, family relationships. And similarly, the planets which are of that nature, the soft planets, the relationship-oriented planets, tend to indicate that Mūla is going to malfunction in that manner. Now let's get to our life lesson, right? How can we detect and destroy the lies and deceptions that seek to confound and manipulate us? So Mūla is going to teach us how to deal with lies. Right? If we study this sutra carefully and think about what Mūla represents, then we're going to know how to uncover a lie and destroy it without being misled by it. Right? So the first lesson that I want to bring out here is that it's good to be nonconformant and defiant in certain circumstances. It's not good to be nonconformant and defiant when you're trying to deal with your children or your spouse or something. Then it's good to be compliant and conformant and forgiving. But there are many circumstances where it is very, very good to be stubborn and nonconformant and to defy. The Vedas, to make this point, they give a goddess control of that topic, the topic of being niriti, the destroyer of lies, the nonconformist, the one who refuses to believe the surface, the one who rips open the surface and drills down deep. So, to be nonconformant and noncompliant with untruth is divine. To be noncompliant with falsehood is the beginning of being able to understand truth and morality, and therefore it is a good thing. It's socially desirable as well, although it doesn't really feel comfortable in society. But if you want your society to be truthful and real, then you need these people who are non-compliant with falsehood. And you have to respect these people. You have to value them in your society. And in your family too. The second lesson that I'd like to bring out from this sutra is about how do you destroy a lie. The amazing part here is that you don't really have to destroy it because it's a lie. Lies are going to destroy themselves. That's the nature of lies. All that we have to do is dig it up. Like if you got something buried in the ground and there's no light on it, nobody can see it. But if you dig it out, that's like Mūla digging into the root. The light is going to shine on that thing and people are going to see what it is. So all you have to do to destroy a lie is expose what it is. You don't need a complex strategy, right? If you're trying to like expose a lie and you need some complex strategy and like really convoluted arguments and you always have to come at it from a different angle and you can't just take one argument, then you're probably actually not trying to defeat a lie. You're probably trying to defeat a truth. Because lies are easily defeated. All you have to do is say, look, you said that you were at work at 5 o'clock on Monday. Over here, when you texted me, or when you texted this other person, you said that you were at the bar at 5 o'clock on Monday. That's all you got to say. Then the lie is exposed. One of those things can't be true. You don't have to develop a complex strategy to destroy lies. You just have to show how they pratipanja, how they attack each other, how the lies attack and destroy each other, and then let them destroy each other. And the third lesson that we get from this sutra is how to detect a lie. Right? Like I mentioned, if you're have to try really hard to defeat a lie, maybe it's not a lie. Maybe you should be instead trying to figure out the truth in it. So this is the thing. How do you know when you're dealing with a lie or a truth? And what the sutra teaches us is that lies reveal themselves by the fact that they can never have harmony. Lies always have disharmony. And so there's this common saying, it doesn't sit right. A lie, you'll know it's a lie because it doesn't sit right with the rest of the things around it. So, and because it doesn't sit right, it's never quite just staying in one place. It's always trying to kind of slightly change so that it matches the various things that are gradually being uncovered. It's always, therefore, nervous. Like lies have the following qualities to them. They never really sit still. They always slightly morph and change, at least slightly. They always tend to be nervous. Lies bring out nervousness because it's always worried about what it's got to do next. Lies bring out defensiveness because it knows it's going to be attacked by another lie. And lies are convoluted because they can't just tell you exactly what they are. Because if they tell you exactly what they are, then you can easily contrast it with something else. So, like people who come to me with their arguments about this or that topic, but refuse to give me their argument, they just say, well, you have to buy my book, or you have to attend my class, or you have to become my student. And then I'll explain to you my argument. That's just a load of crap. I know that's a lie. The sutra has taught me that that's a lie. Because if you had the truth, you would just openly give it. You would just openly tell everybody. Because you wouldn't have any worry that revealing anything would make you weaker. So that's the nature. The nature of truth is that it's calm. Like where lies are always nervous and trying to strategize, truth gives you the feeling that this is almost just spontaneously unprepared and it's just what it is and doesn't care. So it's got this like childish innocence to it. It's not trying to defend itself. And truth, therefore, tends to be very plain. So, and then truth also tends to be kind of singular, simple, consistent, and open. Whereas lies, they're never singular. They always proliferate. That's why all the words in the sutra are plural. They proliferate. There's another lie to make that first lie work right, and then another lie. So they constantly get more and more complicated, convoluted. So look at your astrological system as well. If you've got this complicated, convoluted astrological system, it's probably based on something that's wrong. But if you have a simple, consistent, clear, plain system, then it's probably based on some really good foundations. The Mūla is probably really, really good. Okay, so that's how you can detect a lie. Truth is very simple, consistent, clear, singular, and open. Lies are very inconsistent. They change all the time. They're defensive. They're nervous. They don't want to reveal themselves entirely. Now, I want to bring out one more interesting point about this sutra. that sutra actually explains why we die. The point is that lies always die. This is why Niriti, the goddess Niriti, is associated with death and the southern direction and the underground and where corpses go and where ashes are scattered. Because lies are death. Lies will definitely die. Satyam meva jayate. The only thing that can actually truly succeed and persist is something which is real and true. Satyam meva jayate. So why do we die? Because we don't even know the truth about who we are. And we just are pulling a bunch of lies about who and what we are, associating ourselves with different things. And so those lies are bound to end, because lies rub against each other, they pratibhanja, and then pratishrina, destroy each other or die. So as long as we don't know who we are, then the self, that so-called self, is going to die. It's going to have an inevitable destruction. But if you cannot uncover the truth of who and what you really are, then there's no necessity of death anymore. The truth just exists spontaneously and naturally. So this sutra is also revealing the key to immortality. The key to immortality is not medicine and all those things, but the key to immortality is to discover who and what you truly are without any lie.
Don't miss the life lessons from the other 26 star clusters of Vedic astrology. Subscribe to my channel now. And keep your ears up for announcements about the release of this book and the next online classes about it. Thanks.